Well, hey there, friends. This is Annie. Now, last week, I promised you we were going to take this Copilot Pages idea a step further, and today's the day we do just that. And before anybody gets nervous, let me say this right out of the gate. This is not a technical training episode. There will be no flowcharts. There will be no Power Automate wizardry. And nobody's going to have to Google a single acronym when we're done. What we are going to do is talk about how you take one good thinking page and turn it into a whole working system you can actually run a business inside. Because here's what I know about most of you listening. You're not short on ideas. You're not lazy. You're not bad at strategy. You're just trying to think big things in small scattered spaces, email threads, notebooks, meetings, text to yourself, notes on your phone, and that legal pad you swear you're going to rewrite someday. And that's like trying to run a farm by keeping one cow in the barn, one in the pasture, one in the neighbor's field, and hoping they all magically end up in the same place at milking time. It doesn't work. You don't get better milk. You just get tired. So today, I want to show you how pages help you fence your thinking, link it together, and let Copilot do the heavy lifting without turning you into an IT person. Last episode, we talked about starting with one page. One initiative, one problem, one messy, honest brain dump. That page is your kitchen table. It's where the real conversations happen, not the formal ones, the real ones. But eventually, and this is where a lot of leaders get stuck, that page starts to grow. You realize this initiative has moving parts. Some decisions deserve their own space. Certain ideas keep getting revisited, and different people need to engage with different pieces. That's when one page stops being enough. And here's the mistake people make right there. They think, well, shoot, I guess it's time for a whole new system. Nope. You don't need a new system. You just need additional pages that are linked together. Now, quick clarification here, because Microsoft's wording matters, and I don't want anyone confused. In Microsoft Copilot and Pages, there is no official thing called a subpage. That's just plain English we're using to describe how this works in real life. What you're actually doing is creating additional pages and then linking them together. We call them subpages only because, functionally, they serve as supporting pages to a main master page. They hang off that main page, they're connected through links, and they're meant to be accessed from there, but technically speaking, they're just pages. Think of it less like a folder structure and more like a web of connected thoughts. Now let me put this back into farm terms. A good farm doesn't have one giant barn with everything crammed inside. It has a barn, a tool shed, a feed room, a place for equipment, and a place for animals. All connected, all intentional, and all easy to walk between. That's what these linked pages do. Your main page stays the home base. It holds the why, the current state, and the big questions. It holds the decisions that matter most. Then, when something gets big enough to deserve its own space, you don't copy-paste it into chaos. You create another page and link to it. For example, you might have one main strategy page that links out to a page for risks, another page for key decisions, another for timeline thinking, and another for what you've already tried. Or you might have a leadership initiative page that links out to department-specific thinking pages, a communications page, and a metrics page. Nothing disappears. Nothing gets buried. Everything stays connected. And here's the quiet magic part. Copilot can see the links, which means it can reason across your thinking, not just inside one box. Now this is where I want you to lean in. Most folks use AI like a hired hand they give random chores to. Summarize this. Rewrite that. Make this sound nicer. That's fine. That's helpful. But it's not what changes the game. The moment Copilot becomes powerful is when it can see your main page, see the pages linked to it, and understand how ideas connect, conflict, or repeat. That's when you start asking questions like, what decisions keep showing up across these pages that we haven't resolved yet? Where are we solving the same problem in 3 different ways? If I had to explain this strategy to a new manager, what would confuse them most? That's not automation. That's thinking support. And real leaders need that more than another dashboard. Now, let's talk templates, and don't worry, I mean simple ones. Here's one I love for these supporting pages, especially for managers. At the top of every new page, just 4 things. What problem does this page exist to solve? What do we know for sure right now? What are we unsure about? And what decisions does this page need to support? That's it. No formatting gymnastics. No perfection required. You just start writing badly. Copilot helps you clean it up later. And the real gift is this. When every page follows the same rhythm, your brain relaxes. You're not asking yourself how you should think here. You're just thinking. Now let me say this clearly. You do not need complex workflows, custom apps, and you do not need a consultant living in your office. Here's the tech part, and it's short. Create a main Copilot page for the initiative. Create additional pages when a section gets heavy. Link them together. Then use Copilot prompts that ask for gaps, trade-offs, risks, and repeated themes. That's it. If you can paste a link, you can do this. And if you're thinking, this sounds too simple to matter, I want you to remember this. Most businesses don't fail because they lack tools. They fail because nobody can see the whole picture clearly at the same time. For owners, this gets strategy out of your head without dumbing it down. For managers, this gives you a place to think before meetings instead of reacting during them. For executives, this turns strategy into something living, not a deck that dies the moment the meeting ends. And for all of you, it means fewer circular conversations, fewer "didn't we already decide this?" and fewer nights staring at the ceiling trying to hold everything together in your mind. Before next week, I want you to do just one thing. Pick one real initiative. Create one page. Add one linked page. That's it. No rollout. No announcement. No perfection. Just build a place where your thinking can finally settle down and do some work. And with that, friends, I'm going to wrap this up. Remember, good tools don't replace good judgment. They give it a place to breathe. Until next Monday, this is Annie, signing off and reminding you that clarity beats clever every single time. Now go make your pages. Have a great week.